Welcome back to the Alpha Sapphire Challenge Run. Last time we explored Team Aqua's hideout again, and met up with Steven and found out the only person who knows how to open the Sky Pillar, which is where we need to go next, is Wallace, the former champion of Emerald and gym leader of Satopolis City. He's waiting for us at the Cave of Origins, so we better get going. And hopefully this whole sequence of events is going to lead into something that I am very, very glad is in the game, although I doubt many other people are. So yeah, since we have to visit Satopolis City, this Pokemon Center is now available for us to use again. Although, I already went and fully healed back at the Aqua hideout. Now, my team actually looks in pretty good shape to take on the next boss, actually. I'd rather be equal to their lower level than their higher level, because we're going to gain some levels during the fight anyway. May need to level up just a tiny bit before the actual final fights, though, especially seeing as, I'll talk about that later. For now, though, we have to go to... Do I still have... I still have the Acro Bike! Ugh, I hate the Acro Bike so much. Too slow. Just, it's too slow. I was thinking of Sonic's Taunt in Smash Brothers, and then I realized, oh wait, he actually doesn't say that anymore. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where part of you is glad that the annoying factor of it is gone, and the other part of you kind of misses it. But anyway, oh, okay, wait, alright, yeah, there's a transition. And Wallace is already here, along with some... I'm guessing that was the guy who blocked the cave first. Yes, the end of the world is glorious, isn't it? And this is an interesting line. Yeah, this tree. There's a reason this tree wasn't here in the original games. It only exists in this version of the Pokemon timeline. Old Master. That's interesting. I thought that Juan was his mentor. Does Juan just... I'm guessing Juan still exists in this continuity, but anyway. And that guy likes to say, oh ho ho. And they're all laughing. Yeah, Wallace knows everything about champions, doesn't he? Okay, we already know. Okay, so Wallace is descended from the ancient people of Satopolis, which means by extension, Lycia is too, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't think they've mentioned that, or one of the Draconids. Okay, so there is a second option. Yeah, I had a feeling that it was. That makes sense. Then why the ancient Satopolian people? Yeah, so Sky Pillar's over there. I think we already went there before, and I'm glad we went to Pacific Log before. Technically speaking, we don't have to visit Pacific Log, so that heal point is not refreshed. Also, Wallace is not kidding when he says to make preparations, because something's going to happen once we get there. Also, hi tree, completely blocking off that old man. Yeah, so Sky Pillar is interestingly one of those things that's a little tricky to find. I know that someone I know who stop getting rid of the awesome music. Someone I know who basically just got into Pokemon and like a 10-year-old who I've mentioned him before, who just started out. He actually had a hard time finding the Sky Pillar, I think when he was playing, so I can actually understand why. It's not entirely that obvious where it is. Really, yeah, Route 131 is really all you had to go on, although then again, he hadn't actually beaten the Pacific Log before by that point. I mean, understandable, Pacific Log is a completely optional location. I was about to say, hey, let's go and check the Mirage Island, man. Then I realized, oh wait, we don't need to do that because Mirage Island doesn't exist anymore. Praise Arceus! Yeah, I never ever saw Mirage Island in my entire history of playing the original games. I don't think that I ever will. I hate Mirage Island so much. Just... What the... Okay, that was an Alomomola, wasn't it? But suddenly I got a wild Pokemon that was not the Alomomola. It was a Tentacool. Joy. At least Team Aqua don't use Tentacool. Okay, actually, I may want to get my team in order, because something is coming up now that, well, proves to be kind of interesting. definitely want to go with trumpeter and clarinet for this fight. Definitely. So, I think Sky Pillar is around here somewhere. Nope, wrong way. And I'm glad I got Sharpedo. Okay, yeah, here. I think this would be Sky Pillar. We can barely see Wallace there. I am going to save now, because something is about to happen. Also, this awesome music is back. I love this music. It's one of my favorite songs in the game for some reason. But, here we go. He's here. So yeah, there was a seal here. It's gone now. And that trial is him. Yep, we have to battle Wallace. And this isn't just any Wallace battle. Okay, good. He asked you if you're prepared. I think I am. Let's do this. And Wallace should know, because he used to be champion of Hoenn, at least in Emeralds. And he still gets his gym leader intro and theme. That's pretty good. Although I kind of wish they gave him back his champion theme. Anyway, this isn't just any battle with Wallace. This is essentially Wallace's champion team from Emerald version. And that, again, I am really, really glad for this reference. Emerald was my favorite game in the series for a long time, so, like, honestly, Wallace as a champion holds so much more nostalgia for me than Steven ever did, so I'm very glad to see Wallace's champion team actually back in this game. Whoa, heavy slam. That's gonna hurt coming from a gigantic whale. That hurt less than I expected, actually. But anyway, yeah. Now I can finally explain. For some reason, back in Emerald, I always found Wallace's team as a champion far more threatening than Steven's. Steven has a giant weakness to water. Wallace may have massive references to electric and to grass, but he covers those weaknesses pretty well. His Tentacool covers grass types, his Gyarados has Earthquake to cover electric types, and a lot of his Pokemon have Ice Beam to cover grass types. So, really, I found Wallace covered his weaknesses way better than Steven did, and that was why, to me, Wallace was always, oh, that's not good. Yeah, I remember this from Wallace's champion battle. He would like to use Rain. That is very, very annoying. The only slight disappointment in this fight is that Wallace isn't using a Mega. Dazzling Gleam? Really? Tentacool gets that? I mean, it makes sense, considering that it has, like, gems on it, but still. I am Sucker Punching because Tentacool can be surprisingly fast. Yeah, don't want to eat a Dazzling Gleam. That would be very, very painful. Okay, here's his Ace Melodic, and I am going to go to Trumpeter for this one. I don't want to Mega Evolve, though, because I'm pretty sure this thing has Ice Beam and or Blizzard or something. I remember it having that in the original Emerald version. But, yeah, I'm just going to go straight up for Grass Pledge, just because, yeah, this thing can be quite bulky, too. As you can see, I barely did half, and yes, it does have Blizzard, and it hits first try, even in rain. Okay, good, yes. Don't freeze, good, okay, that's good. If I had Mega there, yeah, I would have been completely wiped out, so good thing I didn't Mega, otherwise things could have got really awkward. Oh yeah, I get the crit now! Ugh. Though, given critical hits are 1.5 times damage now, and I love how the sky clears like that. Ludicolo, actually, Hidden Power Bug may be good against this thing. Yeah, I remember Wallace's Ludicolo. I think it tried to use Double Team before. Okay, now I can safely Mega. Here we go. Trumpet Sound. Alpha Awakening. Yeah, the only thing Wallace is really missing is the fact that he doesn't use a Mega. I mean, people were wishing they'd be Mega Melodic. I mean, Melodic... I mean, Gyarados got one. Why not Melodic? I mean, Melodic and Flygon are really the only Hoenn Pokemon that I guess kinda could have used Megas. Oh, you have Ice Beam too. Damn it. Well, that was short-lived. Yeah, see, this is why I actually... the other reason why I always found Wallace more difficult than Steven as a champion was the fact that, out of all the starters, okay, Swampert and Blaziken both completely destroy Steven, like, massively. Sceptile's the only one that has slight trouble, but even Sceptile can take out, like, Claydol pretty easily. Wallace, however... Swampurt's not that great. I mean, he does have the resistance, though. Blaziken gets slaughtered, and Sceptile doesn't like ice moves, so really, none of the starters are all that effective against Wallace in Emerald, and that's why, again, of course you send this out after I've already lost my grass user. This is not his last. Okay, oh yeah. Oh, he saved the Gyarados for last, didn't he? That's not good. That is very bad. Let's just crunch this thing. Yeah, could've... Oh no. Okay, at least I could Sucker Punch here. I am so glad I taught Sucker Punch. Such a useful move. Okay, good. There we go. Seriously, Sucker Punch has saved me so many times. It's such a good move. And here's the Gyarados. I can't switch, so I'm going to be unavoidably intimidated unless he has Moxie. Okay, good, it has Intimidate. Because Moxie might be quite scary, and I doubt Clarinet is going to be able to get through this, sadly. Stone Edge. Oh, that's bad. And it's faster than Clarinet, who has a plus speed nature. That is also not a good sign. And I would go for... I haven't used Tuber and Bone Flute yet, but I mean, they're not all that great against this thing, and... who to use here is the real question. I'm actually going to go for Air Horn just for the bulkiness. Now, Gyarados does have better special defense than physical, so I'm going to go for Return here. Hopefully Return is at max power by this point, and it looks like it is. Waterfall. And, weirdly enough... Wait, that doesn't make any... Oh, right, of course Gyarados was faster than Clarinet. I got Rock Tomb, that's why. Yeah, wow, I can forget these things pretty easily. But anyway... So, okay, Wallace wasn't too bad there, but he did put up somewhat of a fight against my main pair. So we have defeated Satopoly and Wallace. Yep, when he was holding nothing back. He was going full on with his champion team, so... He's changed the line slightly, but I love the callback to his champion quotes from Emerald. Okay, so apparently he can't intrude on this place, but we can. Well, that's Pokemon protagonist for you. So, it's time to head on into Sky Pillar, I guess, and here we're hit with a pretty major problem. So let's discuss this for a moment, shall we? I'm gonna have to go back to the Satopolis City to heal these two. In fact, let's discuss that on... So... yeah, a few things we need to talk about. I'm quite glad I'm not playing this blind, because if I was, I would suffer a pretty big problem here. Coming up is a fight against Rayquaza. It is mandatory. Just like the legendaries of X and Y and Black and White, catching it is also mandatory. So it has a reduced catch rate, which is good. The problem, though, is that unlike X and Y and Black and White, you don't have the option to refuse to put it into the party. You have to use it, whether you want to or not. And this is very irritating, because Mega Rayquaza is without a doubt the single most broken Pokemon ever devised by Game Freak. From what I hear, using it makes the following boss fights a complete and utter joke in every respect. And that I really don't want. This is meant to be a challenge run after all. So, what can I do? The problem here is also the fact that I have no choice but to send one of my Pokemon to the PC in order to put Rayquaza into my party. Which means I have no choice but to break up one of my pairs. And that is really, really not a good thing. I don't want to do that. And weirdly enough, I actually think that I'd rather actually not have one of my pairs entirely than break them up. So you know what I'm going to do? This is going to sound crazy. I'm going to deposit one of my pairs into the PC, which means I only get 2 pairs for the upcoming fights. And this sounds very, very bad, and it likely is very, very bad. It probably is very, 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 very bad. Now, as for how I'm going to handle the next fights, you're forced to lead with the Rayquaza. So what I'm going to do is, from what I've heard, Rayquaza has Dragon Dance. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to spam Dragon Dance until it faints for both of the Force fights. So, no Rayquaza allowed. That's basically how this is going to go. So, yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to go. And then I only get 4 pairings, but I actually had a thought, though. Something that I realized. I just thought that maybe, despite the fact that Rayquaza is genderless, I mean, I can't use it anyway, so I thought of doing something. Possibly adding in a quote-unquote lone wolf Pokemon that will kind of be semi-paired, quote-unquote, with Rayquaza, but not really. There'll be a backup in case I lose my, well, sort of a backup that I can actually use at any time, but not really part of any pair. And it makes sense for them to be a lesser legendary. Considering that, yeah, that these ones aren't trained. Now, yeah, here's the thing. My idea was to actually include the level 50 Heatran that I haven't done, and include them as a semi-quote-unquote partner to Rayquaza. Not really for the purposes of the actual pairing rules, though. Once I lose Rayquaza, I'm allowed to switch to anyone. But yeah, this one will be a lone wolf. They must fight on their own, and I'm gonna go in there with them at level 50. So they're not likely gonna be that helpful in all of these fights, but Scary Face could be somewhat useful in a pinch. Yeah, I'm not gonna change their moveset really either. So here's how things are gonna go. Sadly, Sadly, from the looks of things, the pair that's gonna help me the least in the upcoming fights. Now, here's the thing. Igiel with Dazzling Gleam could be really good against a fight that's coming up. We're going to have to fight a lot of dragons. However, well, Trumpeter's not going to be that great, but I want these two in the party. Not just because they've been here since the beginning, but because I get the feeling that a certain move on Clarinet... Take a guess as to what it is. I get the feeling that one of Clarinet's moves here is going to be utterly vital to beating the second boss that we have to fight here. So, I need Clarinet. I also want to use Tuba and Bone Flute, mainly because they might be kind of decent against the dragons, and also because I will finally be able to try out Tuba's Sharpedo Knight. So that's going to be good. The thing is, though, I might actually get rid of one of Tuba's moves for something that may prove useful in one of the fights coming up. I'll do that, I may do that off camera, actually, because the levels of these Pokemon are a little bit low for the next fight. The next fight is level 60, well, actually 70 if you count Rayquaza, but it's easy to catch anyway. I really hope you're healed after getting Rayquaza, because it would be criminal if you're not, but the next fight is 60 to 62, and the fight after is an even bigger jump. So, what I think I'm going to do is I may actually train these ones all to level 60 before I actually progress. And, since this is a training session, you know what? I'm going to allow Pokemon Center healing for this, just because I don't think I'm going to stand much of a chance unless everyone is at least level 60. So I'm going to go ahead and train these before I come back. But first, unfortunately, Airhorn and Igiel, I may have to temporarily deposit them for the time being, so I'm very sorry, you two, but yeah. In their place, I'm going to add Ryuteki, the Heatran. You know what? I don't really feel all that bad about using the experience share just to make training these ones easier. I'll add Ryuteki into the party later. So, yeah. I'm going to come back after a little bit of off-camera training, and then I'll see you for the Sky Pillar. So, see you then.